What is up, McManus MMA fan? We got to talk about UFC 322. We had an absolute, just the worst. I don't want to say the worst card ever, but all of my picks were just absolutely smudged. We got to start with the title fight here, man. Islam Makhachev versus JDM.
Introduce me.
Oh, sorry guys. We have Patrick HM1 today with us.
AKA Patrick Melly YouTube channel. If you're familiar with any of my content, I'm here today commenting on this channel, ready to give some input on the fights.
So I've recently got him into UFC, and we've got to talk about this card. Yes, this was an absolute banger card, but no, my parlay did not hit, and yes, I am very, very saddened by the outcome of a lot of this card. We're gonna talk from the top to the bottom. We're gonna break down this entire card. So let's talk about JDM versus Islam. So my prediction was JDM was able to defend all his takedowns in the middle of the octagon because he proved in the Bilal fight that he was able to defend all those takedowns. He's working with Craig Jones. He's working with Volk. But in the press conference, Islam said, you can work with everybody, but it still don't matter. Like, I don't give a fuck. So Islam really proved that he is the GOAT. As much as that...
JDM disappointed. In my opinion, I expect he didn't really do anything at all. He kind of just got... But to be fair, the card overall was a little bit gay. Like, nothing really exciting happened. You know, I was Islam from day one, but I wanted him to kind of, you know, put his fist forward and try to, like, do something. He played it very safe. He played it very, very safe.
I agree that he did play this very safe. In my opinion, this is the DDP versus Hamzat Chimaev fight of the welterweight division. Islam did play this very safe. He kind of just smudged him to the ground. He went for a couple submission attempts. He went for a Kimura at one point, but JDM's submission defense was really, really high level.
Get out!
Was
Get
really.
out! Get the fuck out, bro! Get out!
Sorry, we've got lots of people coming into the room to talk
We're hiding out in like a couple minutes.
talk about the fights, but JDM's takedown defense was just not there. Islam was just too strong at welterweight. Really,
Very confident.
he was extremely confident. And listen, there's a lot of guys who was really, really confident. We'll talk about it later, but Leon Edwards was also very, very confident. There's a lot of guys who were extremely confident, but just JDM as well was very calm, collected during that press conference and all the weigh-ins and everything. But listen, I respect Islam a lot, but I was very disappointed in JDM's performance. He wasn't able to defend those takedowns in the middle of the octagon and against the fence as much as I would like to see. Craig Jones was in his corner, coaching him through, like, listen, you need to do this, you need to defend this. He was able to defend the submission attempts the entire fight, but he wasn't able to defend the takedowns against the cage in the center of the octagon, which was very disappointing to me. And I was very disappointed. Islam kind of just smudged him the entire fight and was able to just pitter-patter his way through. In my opinion, this was a very safe win for Islam. And that's not to put Islam down at all. In my opinion, this fight does cement him as, in my opinion, the modern-day GOAT. He is the GOAT. This does set up that we will see Islam versus Topuria. Topuria will go up to welterweight, and that fight excites me.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If there's one thing you could change about the title fight, like, obviously, you know, Islam, he knew what he was doing. He knew he could play it safe because he could win, which he did. If there's one, what would you change about that fight?
If I could change one thing about this fight, I would really hope that JDM would be able to defend better against the cage like he did during the Bilal fight. In the Bilal fight, JDM had really great takedown defense. My one concern during this fight was that JDM, when he is mixing up the strikes, when he's standing orthodox, he ducks down, which leaves him open to head kicks. But Islam didn't really take advantage of that. He takes advantage of the body kicks and a lot of the head kicks, but not as much as I thought he was really going to do. He was just going straight takedown, and JDM...
To take him down, JDM could do really... He did nothing about it.
He really did nothing about it. I was hoping he could get at least some butterfly hooks in and be able to push him off, but it just seemed like Islam was just way too strong and way too dominant over this fight, and in my opinion, it was very disappointing. But I'm not going to downplay this fight and downplay Islam's performance. He really proved that he's able to overcome, in my opinion, one of the greatest welterweights of our modern era, and claim the double champ. It didn't seem difficult at all. It seemed like that Islam was able to just overcome this with ease. In my opinion, I said that the first two rounds were going to be the most decisive rounds, and Islam was just able to overcome those first two rounds with ease. It was too easy for Islam. And after that point, I really put my hands on my head and I said, oh, god damn it, this is really going to be a tough fight for JDM. And he was never really able to find his footing. He was never able to outbox Islam, which I really thought that he was going to be able to do. I thought this was going to be a similar fight to the first Volkanovski and the Dustin Poirier fight. And it just really never got to that point. Islam played this really, I don't want to downplay it, but he really played this really safe and was able to take down JDM so well and control him on the ground to an extent that we've never really seen JDM get taken control of. So, in my opinion, I am disappointed in JDM. I had JDM winning this fight by decision, and unfortunately, he made it to decision, but he didn't. He wasn't able to squeeze us out. He was just dominated all 5 rounds. Me and Jason were booing this fight. Not to downplay Islam, but I know you were cheering on Islam. You had Islam on your.
I feel like I was against all odds there. Nobody really. There's a lot of racism in our crowd.
Not racism, but just
No,
listen.
no, not racism. Just the underdog fallacy.
Of course, well, Islam was the favorite fighter, and I really thought that JDM had what it takes to overcome this humongous hurdle, and it turns out that Islam is really just that good. Islam is really just that good. So let's move on to the co-main event, which we were all really sad about.
This was a rough one. This was a really rough one for everybody involved.
We were really sad. We were all rooting for Zhang Weili, and this just proved that Zhang Weili just needs to go back down and just reign supreme over the strawweight. Like
She really didn't do anything.
she couldn't do anything.
She was trying, but whatever. What's her face?
Valentina Shevchenko.
Valentina. She just cooked her in every aspect of the game. I mean, there's
Exactly.
really nothing more to it. It was very disappointing. I was hoping for more. I thought each round she was gonna pull something out of the hat.
Agreed.
Something magical, but she just couldn't.
I agree.
But
I really thought that Zhang Weili would be able to overcome the takedown defense and overcome just the grappling aspect of this fight. I knew that Valentina Shevchenko was going to be a superior grappler in this aspect, but not to downplay Zhang Weili's grappling aspect of her fight game. I thought that she'd be.
to do with anything to do with height.
I don't think it had anything to do with height. I think it had to do with just Valentina Shevchenko is just too comfortable at women's flyweight, and this is Zhang Weili's first time coming up. She was just outsized and outclassed in every single aspect, which was really disappointing to everybody in the room. We were all rooting for Zhang Weili. She was outstriked. She was getting hit with these body kicks by Shevchenko, which would really disrupt her game and kind of lose her confidence in the striking, which is extremely disappointing because I thought that Weili would be able to outstrike Shevchenko and trying to control the inside of the octagon, and she just wasn't able to get that
Yeah,
confidence.
Body kicks.
The body kicks were
Took
really
her
destroying
out.
her.
Yeah, she really. I mean, that just completely took her off her game.
It really did, and it was very disappointing. And then the second she was taken down, she was able to get the butterfly hooks. I think in the first 2 rounds she was able to get the butterfly hooks in, but wasn't able to capitalize on that at all, and that was extremely disappointing to me and very sad. Not to say that Valentina Shevchenko is not like good. I know I was downplaying it in my predictions, but like at this point, this in the title fight, the main fight, kind of proved that Islam Makhachev and Valentina Shevchenko are kind of the goats. Valentina Shevchenko proved that she's the WMMA GOAT in this modern era, which is disappointing because everybody loves Zhang Weili. I love Zhang Weili. I love her so much. She is awesome.
I think in 5 years, Tracy Cortez will be the GOAT. I think she'll overthrow
We'll-
Valentina for the GOAT.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about the Tracy Cortez fight in a minute. But yeah, I was extremely disappointed in Zhang Weili's performance. Not to say that she was doing bad. She was trying her absolute best, but she was just getting outstriked with the body kicks, which were really hurting her. And she would go in for the clinch, which would just initiate Valentina Shevchenko to get a takedown and just control the ground entirely, which was very saddening to all of us. We were all into the 5th round. We were all praying, like, please get a finish. Please get a finish at this point. I don't care about my parlay. My parlay was sold after this next fight. We'll talk, or actually 2 fights after this. We'll talk about that. But we were all really disappointed. We were all not disappointed in Zhang Weili. This was a really, really high hurdle for her to overcome, but we all had confidence in her.
High hopes for Zhang.
We had really, really high hopes for Zhang Weili, and unfortunately, I don't want to say we were disappointed, but we were really heartbroken at the outcome of this performance. So, Valentina Shevchenko has cemented herself as the WMMA GOAT in this.
Very impressive.
It was extremely impressive performance. Not to say that she like did a shit job or like she was just kind of smudging her way through, but she really just outclassed Zhang Weili in every single aspect, and it was.
I mean, the double belt fights were very similar.
Exactly. These were both very similar, and that gave me lost me a lot of confidence after the Zhang Weili fight into the main fight. But yeah, this was just you can see the stats on the screen here, but this was really a tough fight for Zhang Weili, and I hope that she goes back down and is over to just continue reigning supreme over that division. This just proves that maybe Valentina Shevchenko is just too much of a force that she can't handle. Unfortunately. So let's move on to the Sean Brady Mike Morales fight. I predicted this very wrong. I said that Michael Morales would wobble Sean Brady at one point during the fight, maybe get a knockdown, and then Sean Brady would shoot for a takedown and control the fight from that point forward and get this to decision. Unfortunately, in the first round, Sean Brady got hit with a really, really bad, I think it was a left hand that wobbled him bad, put him right to the ground. In my opinion, I could argue a early stoppage on this fight, but I won't argue with that this was a fair stoppage.
The knockout was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
I thought that was a very, very good knockout.
Michael Morales proved himself at this point. He proved himself that he is the next challenger. If Islam is going to stay at this division, as long as Tapori is not fighting him, he is the next up. This also proves that I'll talk about that in the next fight on who Sean Brady's to fight next. But this was a crazy fight. I thought I could argue an early stoppage on this fight, but also when during the replay you can see that Michael Morales just hit him with, I think it was a left left hook that really got him, maybe an uppercut I think, and then two or three ground and pounds that got him. And he looked like he was out on the way down, and the ref jumped in, and this just proved like, holy shit, Michael Morales really is that guy. Michael Morales really is that guy. I know I had Sean Brady winning by really boring decision, and that Sean Brady would get wobbled at least once during this fight, but damn, man. Damn, I can't downplay Mike Morales' performance.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Would you say this cements his nickname as Miles Spider-Man Morales? Would you say this really cements him as
Of course, this cements him as Michael Miles Morales. Like, he really is the Spider. There was no grappling involved with this at all. I thought Sean Brady, as much as this pains me to say, to compare this to my GOAT, Charles Oliveira versus Ilia Topuria, this really seemed like an Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. Sean Brady was trying to outstrike Michael Morales. When going into this fight, he should have known that Michael Morales was going to outstrike him. He should have immediately went for the grappling. I think there were 2 or 3 moments where he went for a takedown and lost the attempt immediately. Michael Morales was able to defend that really well. He seemed like his camp was really great preparing for those takedowns and for the grappling. And he was just able to immediately outstrike Sean Brady, which immediately sold my parlay. Actually, this didn't sold my parlay. We'll talk about that in just like a minute to 2 minutes. And I laid on the floor for that one. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say, but Sean Brady got absolutely dusted. I'm open to the argument of an early stoppage, but really, 3 to 4 ground and pounds for Michael Morales after Sean Brady hit the ground, I can understand the stoppage. I won't complain. I'm open to the argument for an early stoppage. So let's move on to this was the greatest moment of this entire card. In my opinion, this cements McManus MMA as one of the greatest predictors in the entire MMA community. Leon Edwards got knocked the fuck out by Carlos Pratas. Everybody was saying Carlos Pratas doesn't have what it takes. I know he has one-shot power, but Leon Edwards is just going to outclass him. I was extremely shocked to see Leon Edwards going for the ground game in the first round. He was shooting for takedowns and was able to kind of control Carlos Pratas against the fence almost the entire first round. Was able to just kind of control him against the fence and shoot for takedowns and just control this fight the first round. If you go back and watch my prediction of this card, I said that this would be a very similar fight to the Yuri Prohaska versus Khalil Roundtree fight. That Leon Edwards would technically beat Carlos Pratas for the first 1 to 2 rounds, and then Carlos Pratas would just figure out where he is. As I said, he's a slow starter, and then he would just knock his bitch ass out. Listen, I am somebody who used to glaze Leon Edwards. After that first Kamaru Usman fluke, that is a fluke win. No matter what you say, that's a fluke win. After that head kick fluke win, I have Leon Edwards' autograph. I love Leon Edwards, but I knew going into this, Carlos Pratas has what it takes. So, as I said earlier, I think Sean Brady versus Carlos Pratas is the fight to make next for those two guys. I think that this proved that Michael Morales will be next for the title if we're going to do that besides Ilia Topuria. Whoever loses that fight, if that's the next fight that Dana White wants to make, we do that fight. But I think the easy next fight to make is Carlos Pratas versus Sean Brady. I know Sean Brady was very high ranked. He's a great grappler. As boring as he is, everybody's booing at the press conference. I said that people will boo him here, but apparently not. He had his ass slept. So again, I think Carlos Pratas versus Sean Brady is the fight to make. What do you think about the Carlos Pratas versus Leon Edwards fight? Do you have any thoughts on this?
To be honest, I kind of forget. I don't know if I watched this entire fight. Is this where you got knocked out in the first round?
He got knocked out in the second round.
Second round.
It was a straight.
Was this the kick to the head?
No. That's coming up. It was a straight left hand jab that wobbled him, and then straight right that put him right down. He went down. I think there were 1 or 2 ground and pounds, and he was out cold right on the way down.
To be honest, I know going to this fight, I had Leon Edwards because he sounded like Leon Kennedy. I really didn't know much about it. I don't know if I watched this entire fight, to be completely honest.
That's all right. Listen, at the first fight, I had one of my buddies who left after this fight here for this, and I said, listen,
Which buddy was this?
it was just Caleb. Caleb was here, and he said, listen, I like Leon Edwards. He thought that Leon Edwards was the GOAT. I said, listen, man, times have changed. I love Leon Edwards too. However, Leon Edwards is just not as, he doesn't have that dog in him anymore, man. He doesn't have that dog in him. As Valentina Shevchenko said, she doesn't have that dog in her anymore unless she ate it. Which is totally racist. I don't stand for that at all. That's disgusting. But Carlos Pratt just put his ass down, as I predicted. Listen, guys, McManus MMA is the GOAT predictor on this.
Hey, compared to your predictions, how well did you today?
I
didn't watch it. So.
Besides the main card, I think I hit pretty well. I did a pretty good job on the predictions. After this next fight, I'll talk about my early prelims predictions. I think I did a pretty damn good job. I predicted this fight that Carlos Pratas would knock him out in the second round. Carlos Pratas, again, he's a slow starter. He's somebody that kind of figures out the range, kind of figures out how his opponent's going to fight, and then figures out how he's going to get his way out of this. He did this during the Jeff Neal fight, even though that didn't make it out of the first round. He just slept his ass. He did this in every single other fight he's fought in, but including in my opinion, which I said in my last video, his best resume, which is the fight against Ian Gary. He lost against Ian Gary, but he was able to figure out Ian Gary in the end, even though he lost that fight. He was able to figure out Ian Gary. He figured out Leon Edwards so quickly and was just able to put him down. It was a really incredible performance. I got to congratulate Carlos Pratas. We on this channel love CP, so we are rooting for Carlos Pratas. Moving on, this made me lay on the ground and grab my head and scream. I hate Benoit Saint Denis. I fucking hate the French. Listen.
Yeah, fuck that guy, bro. He's way too fucking French. He sucks dick. I'm glad he fucking got his shit rocked.
What are you talking about? Benil Dariush is fucking American. The French won.
He won?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, bro. Dang it.
Never mind. That sucks.
I was extremely, really, really, really saddened by Benil Dariush's performance. I said in my last video, when's the last time you saw Benoit Saint Denis win by a straight punch? Well, shit, man. I just ate my words on this one. Benoit Saint Denis hit him with a crazy, it looked on, his neck. He hit Benil Dariush on, his lower, upper neck with a left hook, and it just sat Benil down, man. I was extremely saddened by this. I had Benil Dariush winning by points on this fight. I had him winning by split decision. I will never in my entire MMA, commentary career glaze Benoit Saint Denis. I think this guy's a fucking pussy. I hate Benoit Saint Denis.
He looks like a goddamn pussy.
He's French, which, as you know on the McManus MMA channel, USA. We do not support the French, especially this dirty fucking asshole. He's smudged Mauricio Rufy on his terrible performance, and Benil Dariush got put down. I'm very sad on this. As much as I hate Benoit Saint Denis, Jason actually had Benoit Saint Denis winning this fight by knockout, so I got to give Jason props on this one. It was, I don't want to say it was impressive. It was very impressive. This impressed the shit out of me. I thought Benil was going to make it all 3 rounds and make this to the decision and win by decision, similar to the Renato Moicano fight, because Benoit got absolutely just demolished by Renato Moicano, and Benoit just proved the theory and the narrative that Benil has a terrible chin, and I didn't want to believe that narrative. I was very firm that Benil does not have that sensitive a chin, and this just proved it. This proved it bad, man. I was really, really saddened by this fight. And do you have any thoughts on this fight? This was the really quick fight at the very beginning.
Okay, does that mean a round one? Does that mean it was lasted 16 seconds?
16 seconds.
This is where he got kicked in the face, right?
No. That's the next fight that we're talking about. This one, it stood up. I think Benil went for a clench. Benil went for a clench immediately. I think he landed an elbow, and then Benoit Saint Denis hit him with a.
Against Mr. Grimm.
Yes, against Mr. Grimm.
Okay, that was disappointing. I feel like that was just a simple fluke on Mr. Grimm's part. I feel like if he fixed that, he would have won the fight. Which is a one. He was down for the count.
It was rough. He was out cold, and I actually had Benil retiring after this fight if he lost by knockout. So unfortunately. Fortunately, he didn't. I'd like to see Benil come back from this fight because I think he's a very skilled fighter. So I'm very interested to see what Saint Denis BSD does after this fight. what fight that UFC gives him because he took 0 damage. Honestly, he could fight in 2 months if they really wanted him to. So I'm interested to see what he has to say. Moving on to the prelims. God damn it, man. God,
Fuck Bo Nickel, man. Fuck Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel's a fucking bitch.
I hate Bo Nickel. Everybody knows.
His like last little speech was kind of wholesome.
It was wholesome.
He deserved the win for sure, but I still don't really like
I don't think he deserved the win. He earned that win.
That's what I mean. He earned the win for sure.
He proved me wrong. As you know, in the Beginning of my channel, I said that Bo Nickel was going to do a boring decision fight. It was honestly pretty competitive. Those first 2 rounds, they were both kind of. Bo Nickel was obviously winning those first 2 rounds, and then, kind of middle of the 3rd round, Bo Nickel lands a flush head kick, reminiscent to the Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards head kick, and puts Rodolfo Vieira down. It was a clean, flush head kick. Knocked his ass out instantly.
How old is Bo Nickel?
Let's see. Bo Nickel, I think
he's young.
Yeah, he's young.
Do you think he's gonna have like he's has
No.
potential?
No. I don't think he has potential. He lost to Reiner de Ritter, who I think it was 3 fight nights ago. They had to throw in the towel because he got outgassed. I don't think Bo Nickel has a chance. I think he has potential now. At this point, after he proved himself to me that he has potential to actually win good fights. I thought this fight was going to be boring as shit. I thought he was going to go on the mic and go, "No, dude, I'm going to eat some berries, pick some berries, and I'm going to take Hamzat Chimaev, bro. I promise my wrestling is way better." No, he proved that he has the potential to be a actual, like, disruptor in this division. I don't want to say dark horse. He does not have what it takes to be a dark horse. I'd like to see him against like a lower ranked middleweight, damn near, if he really wants to, if he wants to be as cocky and as, bitch ass as he usually is, put him against Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards just got knocked the fuck out. Put him against Leon Edwards. Both these guys, fuck it, man. Put him against Leon Edwards. Do Bo Nickel versus Leon Edwards. If that's what Bo Nickel wants to do, I didn't take any damage, man. I didn't get hit at all. I wasn't bleeding at all. Like, I was honestly not that hurt, man. I could fight anybody next week. Put him against Leon Edwards. Let Leon Edwards recover. Let him like put some Hims hair care on his bald spot. And, bruv. I don't have a bald spot, bruv. Let Leon Edwards recover. Put Bo Nickel, Leon Edwards on like a bum ass Apex card. Honestly. So honestly, I'm very impressed with Bo Nickel's performance. I had him winning by boring decision. He didn't. Joe Rogan was glazing his ass the entire fucking fight. He was going.
I don't know about Joe Rogan, bro. I like him, but sometimes he's just kind of like, I don't listen to his ass.
I agree. Joe Rogan, as funny as he is, every single time he's talking, he's like, "Listen, guys, people forget, man. The leg kicks really hurt." It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? But he proved us right tonight. Bo Nickel knocked out Rodolfo Vieira's ass.
I like him, but I like him more than I started the night with.
Exactly. I did too. I said Bo Nickel's boring. He's lame. He's gay. He proved us all wrong. Moving on. RoboCop versus Roman Kopylov. This was a very, very competitive fight. I thought the first 1.5 rounds were very competitive. Roman Kopylov was landing some really, really clean strikes and was kind of hitting RoboCop really, really well. Until the 3rd round and the end of the 2nd round, RoboCop really found his footing, was able to just absolutely dust Roman Kopylov. It was a clear, decision win, as I predicted. Pat, do you have any thoughts on this fight?
On the RoboCop fight, to be honest, I wasn't totally locked into this fight, but from the get go, I could just tell by the look of the 2 guys. RoboCop, he had his ass in a fucking basket. Like he was locked in. Is this the guy that looked like the Decatur? Kind of like the Decatur a little bit.
He kind of looks like me. I think Roman Kopylov has my haircut.
Similar hair.
Yes, very similar hair.
Honestly, I had no doubt in my mind. It was closer. It was closer for sure.
It was a very competitive fight.
But
yeah. It was a very competitive fight. I love RoboCop. I absolutely love RoboCop. I think he put on a great performance. It was more competitive than I thought it was going to be. I thought that RoboCop was going to put on like an absolute masterclass and knock out Roman Kopylov's ass out. He outstriked him. He was able to defend the takedowns. I know he got taken down twice, but he was able to reverse and get out really easily. I know it says that he attempted 4 takedowns, but really, like, this was just an absolute, dare I say, masterclass by RoboCop. RoboCop did really, really great in this fight. I think he did really, really great. This was, again, way more competitive than I thought it was going to be. So I was very impressed by RoboCop's performance.
Can I ask why he's called RoboCop? Is it because he just plays like a machine?
That's just his nickname. He is a machine. He's a very mechanical fighter. He's just, 1-2, puts their ass down. So,
makes sense.
Moving on to the moment that we all were crying. We were taking our shirts off and crying.
Fight, man.
Listen, I had Tracy Cortez winning this by like kind of bullshit
Can
decision.
we just like preface by saying Tracy Cortez is a beautiful angel and she should have won this fight?
Tracy Cortez is a beautiful angel. She should have won this fight. First round, I think Tracy Cortez won. I think Tracy Cortez 10-9 the first round. Second round, she was doing really great until the very last, like, a minute and a half. And Erin Blanchfield just kind of outclassed her on the ground and was able to just control her. And in my opinion, if I was Tracy Cortez, which God forbid, if I was Tracy Cortez, I would have not tapped. I would have passed out at that point. She should have made it the last 15 seconds. Just said, fuck it. I can hard my way through this, Bear. But I was very impressed by the first round. Everybody, including me, I know I was glazing Tracy Cortez going into this fight. I was glazing Tracy Cortez. But in my opinion, I really thought Erin Blanchfield would have just outclassed Tracy Cortez, and as she proved kind of at the end of that second round, she really did. But that first round was extremely competitive, and I think Tracy Cortez put up a really great performance and was able to prove herself that she's actually taking this seriously and not, bullshitting her way through this entire division. So I got to give props to where props is due. So Tracy Cortez, you have any thoughts? Last thoughts?
I totally agree. I think Tracy Cortez, she didn't win, but it wasn't a total loss. I mean, she showed she just has a little bit of work to do. I think she can make some more progress.
All right, moving on. The greatest upset of the night. Malcolm Wellmaker versus...
I was very happy about this. I liked what Ewing did.
I love what Ewing did.
24 hours before, I mean, he proved himself tonight. I really like this fight.
This, in my opinion, is the greatest performance of the night. In my opinion, this performance bonus needs to be 24 hours notice. First fight in the UFC, starched Malcolm Wellmaker and just absolutely outclassed him on the feet. It was an absolute.
You thought he was gonna get cooked in the first round.
I thought Malcolm Wellmaker landed a shot. I think in the first round, I think it was a left hook that wobbled the shit out of Ewing, but Ewing was able to completely recover and just absolutely outclass Malcolm Wellmaker. It was an incredible performance, and I've got to give credit where credit is due. Ewing just put on a masterclass, an absolute scrap. This was a really, really competitive fight. I was extremely impressed by this fight and Ewing's performance. No doubt in my mind, Ewing won this by decision. There's not a moment where I was like, Malcolm won this fight. But there was a couple moments where I thought Malcolm's doing really good. But goddamn, man, I got to give credit where credit is due. Ewing put on a masterclass, man. Any closing thoughts on this fight?
I mean, yeah, as a UFC novice, I was very impressed. I heard all this glaze about, he was put in. He was literally just thrown in the last second. He's probably going to get cooked in the first round. So, naturally, as an American, I had the underdog fallacy. I'm like, you know what? I kind of want this guy to win. I was very impressed. Ethan Ewing. You know what? I think he has potential in his UFC future. I will be keeping an eye on him.
I got to agree. I can't agree more. That was an absolutely incredible performance. Moving on to the early prelims, we've got...
Okay, before this next fight, I'll say I'm going to tap out. Because this is where I didn't really watch any fights.
Got it.
I'm going to put my shoes on, get ready for the bars.
Yep.
I'm leaving the rest up to you.
All right.
I will be listening to this later.
I'll close this up really quick so we can go to the bars.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Of course.
I really appreciate being on here. It was awesome. Great experience. Really great. Great UFC night. It was really fun.
It was an incredible night.
It was a great card.
All right. Moving to the early prelims really quick so we can go to the bars before they close. We got to talk about Kyle Dawkins versus GM3. As I predicted, GM3 just sucks dick, man. He should have retired. He honestly should have retired. Kyle Dawkins knocked his ass out almost instantaneously. This was a really quick knockout. And it wasn't even a knockout. He wobbled his ass and then immediately went in for a fucking Darce choke, it looked like. I think it was a Darce. And it just a really, really impressive performance by Kyle Dawkins. So I got to give it to Kyle Dawkins. I predicted this fight damn near perfectly. Congrats to me, guys. Again, McManus MMA, greatest predictor on this goddamn website. Moving on, Pat Sabatini versus Chipe Mariscal. This was an incredible fight. I gotta give credit where credit is due. This was a great fight. Pat Sabatini just completely controlled this fight, start to finish. Was able to just control the ground and control Chipe on the ground. Even on top, he was taking some heavy shots, but was able to take it back down to the ground where he's more comfortable and was able to control this fight entirely. So I was really impressed by this performance. I predicted this one and said that Pat Sabatini looked more happy and more chill. So we gotta give it there. Moving on, a way more competitive fight that I thought it was going to be was Surzakaya versus Eric Moicano. Eric Moicano was way more competitive than I thought it was going to be. This was a really, really impressive fight. I honestly impressed by his performance, even though he got knocked the hell out in the third round. The first two rounds were extremely competitive. During the second round, you can see Surzakaya was actually locking in and was like, okay, I shouldn't joke around and actually take this fight really seriously. So I got to give credit where credit's due. Eric Moicano, you did a really great job. Please do not cut this guy. Give him some, easier competition because Surzakaya, I really think this guy has potential in the middleweight division. I think they need to give some higher level competition, and he needs to absolutely start some high level competition because this dude is really, really talented, and this was an absolute scrap. Got to credit where credit is due. Moving on to I skipped over the Angela Hill versus Fatima Klein. This was a boring ass fight, man. I gotta be honest. Fatima Klein just absolutely starched Angela Hill. I'm surprised she didn't retire. She's 40 fucking years old. Look at the stats. This says as much as I need to say. Fatima Klein absolutely outclassed Angela Hill. Welcome to the rankings. I want Fatima Klein in the rankings. She needs to fight, in the strawweight division, but unfortunately, you're not going to win anytime soon because we've got some absolute incredible talent in the strawweight division, in the women's strawweight division. So, last fight, first fight of the night was, dude, Slava Klaus versus Camilo. I had Slava Klaus going into this. If you see his strikes, but Camilo's ground control and his takedowns were just smothering Borchev during this fight. Slava Klaus. Unfortunately, Slava Klaus lost his fight. It was a competitive fight on the feet. I gotta admit, it was very entertaining on the feet. Once it went down to the ground, Camilo just completely controlled the fight, and it was a completely different fight than I thought it was gonna be. So, going over this card was, I don't want to say it was generational. It was great, but a lot of the fights I was expecting to be really good. Obviously, JDM versus Islam, Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili, Sean Brady versus Michael Morales. I predicted really wrong. We are all hoping for some really great fights. Obviously, I'm not downplaying Islam. Islam did a really great job, kind of DDP Hamzat kind of performance. I hope we see Islam versus Taporia in the near future, and we see some really great fights made from this card into the future. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see when this is posted, but peace.